So the other day I was talking with the YouTube channel slash friend duo Psychonaut Visions, and we were talking about spirituality a little bit. And I was telling them how, wouldn't it be cool if we had like gurus in the flesh in our lives that we could go and visit and learn from and spiritually advance with. And they really told me that they didn't know what a guru was and hadn't even really heard of the term before. And at the time, I didn't think much of it. Thought it was a little strange because gurus have been a massive part of my spiritual journey. And this morning, I was thinking back on it, and it really made me consider like the different types of spiritual paths that are out there and stuff that doesn't involve gurus, because like I said, a lot of what I initially got into with spirituality was revolved around gurus and enlightenment and awakening and, all this stuff that the gurus themselves embodied. And that's what I want to take a little bit of time to talk about in this video is what exactly is a guru? So you could think of a guru as, you could call it a teacher or a guide, a spiritual guide. But the guru that I'm talking about in this video is a little bit different because in Eastern mysticism, the path to enlightenment is the spiritual journey. The path to becoming enlightened. Teachers are not enlightened. Teachers are not enlightened. Teachers teach you how to become enlightened while they work on it themselves. Gurus are enlightened. Gurus are a human embodiment of the enlightened state. You could think of it like you have a teacher and a guru. The teacher points at the guru, says that, do that, do that, you know what I mean? The guru, just innately being himself or herself, like I said, is the embodiment of what Eastern mysticism is trying to teach in spirituality. Now, just to name off a few, Ramana Maharshi, Neem Karoli Baba, Anandamayi Ma, Swami Yogananda, his guru Sri Yukteswar, his guru Lahiri Mahasaya, this guy by the name of Nisargadatta, I think it is, Nisargadatta or something like that. All these people they were born spiritual people. Some of them, depending on the stories that the path that their life carried out in, but all of these people were just born normal people. And slowly or suddenly awoken to the highest states of awakening that there are, and became renowned and looked after and honored. People came to them and sat by them and became devotees of them and would feed them and clothe them and bathe them and all that kind of stuff, because the guru is not in the same state of consciousness as a teacher or us, like we are, the devotees, the practitioners. As Ram Dass put it, a guru is done. A guru is there. It's it. That's it. There is no sense of getting anywhere to the guru. And that's why gurus are able to play with you so much, play with your mind so much, because he knows that a lot of these people that come and sit down in front of him are looking for something through him. They think he's going to give it to them. But the guru understands that everything they need and could get in order to become enlightened is all right here within them. It's all right here. Once you're ready to come out from behind the curtains and expose the drama, that's when you start to meet the guru. That's when you start to meet on the same level as the guru. Is when they're looking at you and you're at their feet with your whole ego trip, oh, I want to become enlightened. My life's a mess. I'm so unholy. I, have so much bad karma, heavy karma that I've been working off. And they're just looking at you. And what they're thinking is, damn, Shiva, you're coming off very, very strong. You know what I mean? You're playing a good game here. You're playing a tight seal. They're waiting for you to cut the bullshit. That's different than a teacher. A teacher is trying to work with you to get you to understand that you're in the bullshit and how to get out of it and methods to get out of it and reminders and practices and exercises and all this stuff. While the guru is just as they are. They're just as they are. They're just there. A lot of people that visit with these gurus talk about how the guru didn't even need to talk, didn't even need to look at them to elicit a stronger sense of unity and bliss than they have ever felt with anyone or anywhere. And this is just by being in the presence of this being. So I wanted to make that clear, that gurus are not the same as a teacher, because a guru embodies what a teacher is trying to teach. A guru may teach, but he's not a teacher. He is not a teacher. He, as far as I'm concerned, is the entire happening of everything. And there is no sense of me, there is no sense of you, there is no sense of where I am, there is no sense of what I am, there is no sense of what I'm doing, or why I'm doing it, or what it's leading to, or why it happened. There's just innate vibrating energy. And this is what the guru is in tune with. A lot of these gurus performed what you could call miracles, magic, things such as appearing in multiple places at once, endlessly reading the minds of the devotees that were present, knowing the future, being able to predict upcoming events, and just utterly defy physics and reality. What you think right now is possible and real and factual and scientific and how things are, a guru is able to just take that and pluck it out of your head and throw it off to the side as if it were nothing important in the first place, leaving you with a sense of vast mystery that you realizing that you don't know what's going on. You don't know how things work and what's possible and what isn't. Now, a lot of these miracles only take place in sort of a karmic sense, meaning you can think of it as if you haven't or aren't experiencing miracles, it's because you don't need to experience a miracle to awaken. Some people do. Some people need some impossible shit to happen for them to really go, oh my God, maybe there is something in this. Other people are more giving and yielding to the teachings, and they just come as a sort of natural understanding, a natural intuition. Gurus were not formal. Gurus were very, as if they were just themselves, and all these people hung out around them. Some gurus liked to do yoga and go and do these excursions and hikes with the devotees. Other gurus liked to just sit there in silence, not talking to anybody. And of course, there's still tons of people sitting all around them, absorbed in the bliss of just this being's presence. Now, when was the last time you went and got a teaching from a spiritual teacher and just became lost in ecstasy? Or they read your mind, or they were in multiple places at once, or told you what was going to happen when you left from hanging out with them? Have you actually ever been conveyed a sense of miraculousness to that individual that you call a spiritual teacher? Or are they just telling you about miraculous things, teaching you how to do miraculous things, but not doing them? Now, if you've never heard of him, Ram Dass, a solid 50% of what I've learned and why I am the way I am. I mean, I think. Watching tons of his lectures, tons of his videos, studying his life and his whole journey, He had a guru, Neem Karoli Baba. And this guru in particular really messes with me a little bit. As Ram Dass himself would say, Neem Karoli Baba was a rascal. He was just this old fat man with no teeth in a little blanket sitting up in the mountains of the Himalayas. And Ram Dass, of course, was searching for something. He was searching for answers in life. He had been working with psychedelics and wasn't able to sustain and support the state that he was getting into, and he wanted to find a way to nourish and maintain that state of open bliss that psychedelics can bring about in some people. And he found himself at the feet of this guru, Neem Karoli Baba, who they also referred to as Maharaji. In short, the first thing Maharaji had to say to Ram Dass was to tell him how his mother died 6 months ago. Ram Dass's mother. Ram Dass's mother had died 6 months prior to him coming to India. When he got to India and was at the feet of Maharaji, the first thing Maharaji said was, "Your mother died. Your mother died a while ago." And then proceeded to tell Ram Dass how she died. She died of spleen. She got very big in the stomach. And this utterly blew Ram Dass's mind, in which he became what we knew him to be today. He became the yogi that he was, through this simple act of just being told the past. But there was no way he could have known that. There was no way he could have known that. Many stories of this guru Maharaji are present. There's an entire book, Miracles of Love, by Ram Dass, with 1,000 different stories, miracles that Maharaji performed. Now, they're really addicting to share. I was saying things like they can read the future. They can predict what's going to happen. And there was this one time, for instance, where Ram Dass was on a bus in India with a bunch of different devotees of Maharaji, of their guru. And they were just driving about India, sightseeing, going to different places, doing different things. And there was a parade going on in the town they were in at the time. And Ram Dass was seen as like the head of them because he was the oldest and seen as like the wisest among the devotees. So a few of the devotees on the bus wanted to go to this fair, so they went and asked Ram Dass, "Yo, could we go visit this fair for a little while? It's not too far out of the way." Ram Dass said he thought about it and was like, "No, I think we're just gonna stick to what we were doing. Not make the bus driver have to do all these different things and bring us all about. We're just going to stick to our normal route." And the devotees were like, okay. And then Ram Dass got thinking and started thinking, who am I to tell these people where they can and can't go and if they can go and whatnot? And promptly decided to get up and tell the bus driver, hey, let's go to that fair. Let's go visit that fair because these people want to go see it. Now I want to mention, they hadn't seen their guru in months. It had been months since they saw Maharaji. Because he was a very elusive being. He was in one place and then, you wake up the next morning and he's 300 miles away somewhere else in India in a random person's house. Regardless, they changed their course and were on the way to this fair. Driving down the road, all of a sudden they see Maharaji, their guru, and a devotee of him walking down the side of the road. Completely mind blown, they stop the bus and get out and go see him, and they're touching his feet and crying and completely hysterical. We haven't seen you in so long. What are you doing just walking this random road? And Maharaji says, follow us. And eventually lead them away and down to this little house in a little valley. And in the house, there are 33 meals ready, prepared and ready for all of them to eat. 33 people is all the people on the bus, including the bus driver. There was a meal prepped and ready for every single one of them to the head count when they got into that house that Maharaji led them into. Now, this meal took a long time to prepare. This meal must have taken at least 12 hours to get ready. They weren't riding around that long. They weren't out and about that long. They had only been out for a few hours. So Maharaji must have and somehow knew that a bus full of 33 people was going to be coming down this road at X time. Because he was there and said, follow me. We have a meal ready for all of you. I've been expecting you. But just a little bit ago, Ram Dass was making the decision. Was making the choice. Do I want to go to the fair or not? And he said, he made a point to say, who's doing the decision making? I was somebody there making a choice. Okay, let's go here. We were going to go here, but I'm choosing to go here. But that was already planned out. That was already played out because there was a meal ready for every single one of them. All they had to do was go down that road. And it was all expected, all prepared, all ready, all predicted. Now, like I said, that's just one of the many stories of gurus, of the many gurus. Tons of different endless stories that make you wonder the abilities of these people. Now, in terms of being physically elusive, not being able to be found and located very easily, gurus were also known to be very mentally elusive as well. Just to give an example, Ram Dass, again with his guru, asks his guru, Maharaji, how do I awaken Kundalini? Just a question in the passing of the day. And Maharaji says, love people. Love people? How is that going to awaken my Kundalini? So he figures he'll change the question up a little bit, maybe stir up a different response. Maharaji, how do I awaken to my fullest potential? Maharaji says, feed people. Feed people. You know what I mean? How do these things he's telling me equate to these extraordinarily expansive states that are described in the Bhagavad Gita and the Vedas and stuff like that? You know, how do these little tiny mundane things equate to such a state? So like I said a little while ago, the guru knows you're in search of something. The guru knows, another player. Another role player. And they'll play. They're not going to force you which way or not. The thing with the guru is you find yourself at different places, at different states of realization when you're in front of a guru, a real guru. Now, I can't say I've ever been in front of a real guru. But I would imagine that no matter where you are in life, in the presence of somebody like that, you're going to recognize something about yourself. And that's the idea. Is whether you think you're recognizing something about the guru or something about another person or whatever, ultimately what you're doing is recognizing a state of awareness that you're in. And just by being in the presence of this guru, you're able to recognize where you are. You know what I mean? The guru doesn't have to even say anything. Just being there, you can realize what you're doing wrong, what you need to do, what you should do. Many people describe going into the deepest states of meditation they have ever been in when they were in the presence of a guru. As if it was just the air they were breathing that was all around them. It was just simple. It was just normal to be lost in a meditative trance amidst a guru. A teacher is gonna play the game with you. A teacher is another role. A teacher is Shiva playing with Shiva. You know? It's two lost souls that are trying to figure it all out together. And the teacher gets happiness and gets peace and gets love and compassion out of teaching these people what he knows and what he thinks is the way to be. But the guru doesn't want anything. The guru doesn't need anything. Many gurus had people around them because if people weren't around them, they would leave their bodies into different states of consciousness. This is known as Maha Samadhi. And this is where they would just, all of a sudden, there's no pulse, there's no heartbeat, there's no blood circulation. It's just a body. A dead body, what you would call a dead body. But they're just out traveling with their consciousness. They're not locked in. And that's why a lot of people would stay around these gurus and constantly be touching them and talking to them and feeding them and laughing with them. Because if they didn't do that, the guru wouldn't have anything to hold on to reality with and would just